All right, we continue our series of interviews tonight with candidates for the leadership of the Federal Conservative Party. Tonight on our program, MP Erin O'Toole. I welcome you to PEI and to Compass.
Great to be back here.
I'm talking to a guy who has maritime connections galore here, aren't I?
We were talking. I came to Atlantic Canada in the Air Force. I'm proud to serve at Shearwater and sailed with our Atlantic Navy and met my wife from Nova Scotia. Got married here, and she worked on the World Junior Hockey Championships and Tall Ships 2000. And then I went to law school at Dalhousie. We were both involved in the election of John Hamm in 1999 in Nova Scotia as a Tory premier. A very honorable person that I respect a great deal. So those roots are very important because the next leader of the Conservatives has to use Atlantic Canada as step one in our rebuilding. And I'll be hitting 19 ridings over the next few days, listening and telling that same message. I want to leverage my experience and my knowledge of the region to help us rebuild.
Fundamental question for every candidate, I think, is this. You clearly respect every other candidate, but why are you the best of the 14 in your opinion?
I'm the only one that can beat Justin Trudeau in 2019. And that's from my ability to connect with people, from living in all parts of the country, from serving in the military, from working in the private sector with small businesses, with large businesses. And my track record in Parliament and in Cabinet is one of building bridges, showing respect for all sides, but moving forward on big issues. Conservatives will win the next election if they look at Justin Trudeau's economic record and his 1,100 job losses in Moncton alone, where we had our debate last night in the last year. He's raising taxes. He has $30 billion deficits and nothing to show for it. So if we show people a new style, a bit of the edge they thought we had in the last election, remove that and talk fundamentals, a lot of people in Atlantic Canada will say, my life is worse off under Justin Trudeau, and I'm going to give the Tories a second shot.
Knowing Atlantic Canada as you do, you know a fundamental issue and concern here is whether you're in Cape Breton, Moncton, Newfoundland, Labrador, or PEI, kids leaving families to go find work somewhere out west. How do you stop that?
We need to show that there's opportunity here. Atlantic Canadians, some that have gone to Alberta for work, show that they want the opportunity. They want it here. So we need to work better with the premiers, and we have to not say no to things like Energy East that will not just benefit St. John, allowing us to refine our own resources in Canada. It will have a spillover, much like the shipbuilding in Halifax is not just helping Halifax. There's hundreds of millions that will trickle into all parts of Atlantic Canada. I'll be a champion for that.
You haven't been in the political game that long, and you've been very honest about talking about name recognition or lack thereof. For you, you probably aren't as recognized immediately as others in this race. How is that a benefit or a deterrent for you?
I think the more people that get to know me, a lot of people don't know my extensive almost decade here in Atlantic Canada. They don't know I served in the military or worked in the private sector for a manufacturer. I've done trade on NAFTA levels as a lawyer. That experience and the ability to connect with people. I'm not Justin Trudeau. My birth wasn't covered in Maclean's magazine, but I'm a kid from the suburbs of southern Ontario that was taught to work hard, serve my country, which I did. And everything my family, my wife and I have been able to develop and pass to our children are things that we've earned. And that's why I have so much respect for people in Atlantic Canada who work very hard for what they have and they share with others. It's a very giving community here. I want that same approach to be the touchstone for the Conservatives. And I think Conservatives have a compassion and an optimism by action. Justin Trudeau talks sunny ways and has a lot of imagery, but Conservative supporters are compassionate people, and we have to take off this hard edge that some have said we have and connect with people again. I think I'm the person to do that. As they get to know me better, they agree.
The journey continues. Enjoy it along the way, and thank you for the visit.
Thanks for the opportunity.